Hi, it's Conrad from Eng Machina. Now, I've wanted to do regular updates. One thing that this business and channel is definitely about is transparency and the journey. So, look, I'm 2 months in, I haven't done this yet. The other thing that this definitely isn't is old white guy talking to a camera sort of thing. So here we are, we're Eng Machina. We're approximately 2 months in at the end of November 2025. Okay, so in the business we've got, oops a days. Okay, yeah, this is going to be a bit of a thing, so just go with me here. Okay, so we've got our main sort of money generation thing going on, which is the consulting side. Okay, now there's one, let's call them A. We've got a very, very good, and I'm very lucky to have them, a major client. So most of the money which is coming in, amazing. Let's draw a little thing for that. So the good news is we have dollars coming in to the bucket. All right. Like I said, mostly from client A. Now they tick a lot of boxes. Okay. So they've got a diverse range of industries they're servicing. They're servicing ag. You know, let's I don't know, you draw a little tractor guy. Whoop. Okay, there's a tractor guy, he's pulling the ag along. Yep. And they've got some mining. Mining's okay. Like, you know, it's served us well. They've got some of that. And they've also got, you know, there's some stuff going on there with some new inventions. So, I don't know, what do we normally do for that? Like a light bulb. Bing. Okay. Now, apologies if any of these turn out and they're, you know, any numbers that might turn out to be memes, or any of my doodles that turn out to be inappropriate. They're not intended. Okay. So going into this, we had this guy lined up, and that was good. That was like the security I had to take a leap. Fantastic. That came about through taking a chance, applying for something that didn't exist, and they made space for me, and it worked out well for everyone. Okay, so that's good. The other safety net that we were going to have was going to be B. That's not too dark. Good. Okay, so B was, let's call him OJ, original job. Okay, so the theory with that was I was going to carry on the original job in a consulting sort of sense till we had a decent handover. So that is still happening, okay? And they're still doing some very interesting projects. So also ticking boxes, doing well. Okay, the contract side of things, let's draw a contract. Not so easy. So what I've done instead, being flexible, we've just transitioned that into a 2-day-a-week sort of a deal where I'm helping out where I can, keeping the business running, keeping projects happening, and that's also going very well. Okay, so good there. Let's pick a new color. We've also got C's come on board. They're good. A bit of a smaller sort of series of work I'm doing for C, but it's interesting and it fits in with the company goal. Okay, so C they're a local Aussie company. Everyone knows Australia looks exactly like this. Okay, so they're an Aussie company. They have been making things offshore, but they want to give it a go making whatever widget thing they're doing. They're going to make it here in a trial run. That's the plan. So that job is interesting and something I want to foster. Sorry, trying to keep the hands out of it. No one wants to see those. Okay, so the consulting stuff is happening. That's good. Good. Number one, consulting. money has to come into the family, and that's been going well. Okay. Dollars wise, I haven't been paying myself a paycheck yet. The good news is OJ ticking along means that money is going directly into the family account. So that's a bit of a very easy safety net. So good. Good. We want to keep things safe and in control. Okay. So also, thank you to my team. The OJ team has been very good through this, and the management, but the team especially. They pulled together. We had a bit of a going away, even though I'm still there, and you wouldn't believe it, but they and I was blown away. I'd never heard of anything like this. I thought they'd be getting me, like there was a box was presented at a dinner. I thought, sure, bottle of spirits, maybe some wine, whatever. No, these legends, they got me. Look at this. A new telephone. No, a new 3D scanner. Wow. What a great bunch of blokes. I couldn't believe it. And thanks again. So that's going to come in very handy, possibly for this job, but definitely what it's already coming in handy for, and I'll go into this now, is, okay, where can I go? Number 2 is our STEM kit work. STEM/education. Okay, so good news here. I've teed up with a local branch of the Questacon, which, if you're not from Australia, they're probably the most well-known kids education museum. Main base is in Canberra, in the capital, but we've got Questacon events happening, and at those events I'm meeting teachers and other science educators. And something from the Questacon stuff that's come about is I now know that I want to focus the kit on something we're calling unplugged STEM. Okay, so these are the type of things that you can have teachers can easily diagnose and fix these things. There's no batteries. There's no electronics that are able to be broken easily, and they should be more robust and reusable. So once again, the goal for the kit, we want reusable kits year to year, made in Australia, made locally. Okay, and they have to be easily diagnosed and fixed by teachers at a primary school level. So these are not necessarily dedicated science teachers in a high school level. These are fantastic, but kind of everyday primary school teachers. Okay, so that's the goal, and that's going really well. So also in talks with the uni, the local uni. They have a program that drives around and goes places, and they have a whole series of kits. I'm hoping to do some work with them. Not sure if it'll turn into a business thing or more of an outreach thing, but that's okay, because that brings us on to how are we going for time. Pretty good. Okay, so reaching over here. 3, the third prong of the business is the social impact. Okay, how's it going? It's going great. So what's happened is I've been involved with a group called the Hunter Innovation Festival for a couple of years now, and what happened is they had a few people exit their board, and I've come on. So here we are. That's me getting a trophy. Welcome aboard. Very interesting group of people. Once again, very diverse. I think I'm bringing more of the industry side to the table, but there's a lot of very knowledgeable educators and business people in that group. I think I can help, and everyone seems very confident that I can, so that gives me a lot of hope. Okay. Now, the other thing with social impact that's happening is, now, maybe not as successful as we wanted it to, but let's pick a new color and let's talk about the initiative. Okay, this is the STEM Work in Progress AMA initiative. Okay, so this is going okay. Just going to get my props out here. So what we've got is we've got a sign. Here it is. This sign glows in the dark. Very good. 3D printed. Here it is. Multiple colors. Fantastic. Okay, so if you haven't seen this, the idea is I am a working professional in manufacturing in Australia in the STEM industry. And what I do is I set up my work and do it. I just do the work in a public place. And if people have questions, they can come and ask me. I try to look approachable. This is where it's failing a little bit. So we've had a couple of sessions, 5 so far. Okay, session 1, pretty good, not bad. Session 2, interesting. So, yeah, what we discovered is that some people, and this was a bit of an eye-opener for me because I'm so involved with it, some people don't know STEM. So that's something we have to work on. Okay, and then the other ones I did, the other 3, let's call them downers. Let's be honest. I wasn't prepared. Some of them are happening in places where people probably don't want to talk. They don't want to talk about anything. They just want to enjoy what they're doing. I did one in a bowling alley. People were busy. It was a Sunday. I tried to talk to some I think year 10 boys, and they didn't want to talk about school. It was Sunday. They were at a bowling alley. So I need to figure out a better way to do this. Some things that are happening is I'm starting to get invites to do them places, which is fantastic. And if you've reached out to me, I'm definitely going to make it happen. Something else that I've been asked to do is can I do this sort of thing? Can I do this sort of thing remotely? Maybe. I hadn't really thought of it. So the whole point was to be in a public spot, easily accessible, and be amongst the normal sort of crowd, you know, the people who, like I said, don't necessarily know what STEM is. Definitely probably don't know what WIP is, which is if you're in design or engineering. Like that's, to me, that's another obvious one, but I'm finding that one not so good. So yeah, so the idea was to do this in the open, but if sessions have to happen remotely, they can, but I think they'll be more of a traditional education sort of thing where, once again, it's an older male sitting in front of people telling them how to do it. So want to try to avoid that. And if I do it remotely, I really can't share what I'm doing, especially over a screen. Remember that these over here are real companies, real businesses with their own IP. So we can't share it around too much. That's really important to protect this. So yeah. So like I said, I think things are going pretty good, right? Right, here we go. Here's a big old thumbs up for me. Doing great. I think it's doing really well. These are fingernails. As far as launching a business goes, it's tricky. I recommend doing it if you're well enough connected to have these things work out. And if you can keep OJ going, that's great. You never want to leave a company and burn your bridges. I've tried not to. So I've always tried not to. You want to help out where you can. No one likes starting a job without any sort of handover or any sort of documentation of how things are done. So that's what we're trying to avoid here, and I think that's going to work out pretty well. I'll keep carrying that through to the end of the year. The STEM stuff will get trickier as schools start to break up, but the good news is the unis will slow down and I'll be able to help them more. So I didn't want this to go too long. I think I've covered everything. Good news is next week coming up, there is one of these guys, a robot battle. Yes. So we're going to be going to that. And we did want to put in an entrance, but unfortunately, I couldn't get a kit in time. I've been too busy. That's good. It's a good thing. Lots going on. Keep on supporting me, please. I really am enjoying the journey, and I hope I'm providing content which is interesting, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks.